Chapter 10. The Surprise. The following week Liam came over to meet Mina's new brother. He was making small talk with Sarah and commenting on how difficult it would be to not go outside in such a long time. "I think I need fresh air," Sarah said as she stood near the doorway, adjusting her coat slowly. "If I stay inside any longer, I might forget what the outside world looks like." Mina smiled, a little surprised but clearly happy to hear it. "Are you sure you're feeling up for it?" "I am," Sarah replied, her voice steady. "Not for long, but long enough." At that moment, Liam stepped forward, holding up his phone. "Perfect timing because I was just about to show you," he said. "There's a small sale at the mall and I figured it might be a good excuse to get out for a bit. I want to buy something for the baby. Let's go." Mina raised an eyebrow. "You just happen to be thinking about that right now?" Liam shrugged casually. "I have good instincts." Maya, standing nearby, turned slightly to hide a devious smile. Mina narrowed her eyes just a little, sensing something, but not enough to question it fully. "All right," she said. "We can go for a little while." Sarah nodded. "That sounds nice." The drive to the mall felt lighter than anything Mina had experienced in weeks, as the conversation stayed easy and relaxed, moving between small observations and simple jokes that did not carry any hidden weight. Liam kept the conversation going effortlessly. "So, are we going to have to get something for you too, Mrs. Smith? This could take a while." Mina smirked. "Well, hey, I might as well get something for me too. Maybe we can all get matching outfits." Sarah laughed softly from the driver's seat. "I've missed this." Mina glanced at her mom and smiled. Back at the house, things were anything but quiet. Maya stood in the middle of the living room, holding her phone as she gave rapid instructions. "Okay, balloons go over there, not in the middle of the room because we still need space to walk," she said. "And someone please make sure the cake does not collapse before they get back." Svetlana adjusted a string of decorations. "This is already better than any school event we have ever had." Anna nodded. "That's because we actually care about this one." Tiffany walked in carrying a bag. "I brought extra snacks because I don't trust Jamal not to eat everything before they arrive." Jamal, already holding a plate, looked up. "That's a fair concern, but I resent the accusation." Jessica laughed. "You're literally eating right now." "I am stress testing the food quality," Jamal replied. Lily leaned over to Hanna, who stood nearby watching everything with a mixture of curiosity and quiet amazement. "This is how we show excitement," she said. Hanna nodded slowly. "It is very energetic." Sam adjusted the table. "That's one way to describe it." Sophia smiled. "It's organized chaos." Hanna tilted her head slightly. "Organized chaos?" she repeated. Maya grinned. "That's another oxymoron." Hanna nodded, recognizing the pattern. Opposite words together again. Raven even showed up and she was unusually bouncy, blowing up balloons and putting tinsel all around the room. She was trying to make herself as useful as possible and was extremely excited to be back at Mina's house. A short while later, the front door opened. "Okay, we're back," Mina called out as she stepped inside. "Surprise!" everybody shouted in unison. Mina stopped mid-step, her eyes widening as she took in the decorations, the people, and the energy all at once. "Oh my, what is happening?" she said, laughing in disbelief. Sarah covered her mouth, her eyes already filling with emotion. "You didn't have to do all this." Hanna stepped forward gently. "We wanted to." As the initial shock wore off, the room filled with the sounds of friends catching up. Svetlana gestured toward the center of the table. "Hanna, look at the cake. We got a 3-tier vanilla bean with cloud frosting because babies are like little clouds." She sighed, leaning against the counter. "Honestly, I needed this party. My AP history class is a nightmare right now. I've been staring at 19th century trade routes so long I'm starting to see them in my sleep." Anna nodded in agreement, picking up a plate. "I'm right there with you, Svetlana. Between history and soccer practice, I'm exhausted. We have playoffs coming up and our coach has us running laps until we can't feel our legs." She looked over at the pile of gifts. "But seeing little Jiho makes it worth the trip. I love how you all gave him a Korean name, by the way." Lily led Hanna over to the gift table, pointing at a stack of beautifully wrapped boxes. "In America, we call these presents, Hanna." She picked up a small, square box wrapped in shiny paper. "There's a funny saying we have. The past is history, the future is a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why we call it the present." Hannah's eyes brightened as the connection clicked. Lily continued, clearly enjoying the role of teacher. It's a pun. Like, why was the math book sad? Because it had too many problems. Hanna let out a soft laugh, repeating the word problems to herself. Sam joined them, holding a soda. Or how about this one, Hanna? Why can't a bicycle stand up by itself? Because it's too tired. She chuckled, then turned to the guests. I'm just glad to be out of the house. I've been stuck in the garage all weekend helping my dad fix the lawnmower, which is way less fun than it sounds. Sophia smiled, watching Jiho sleep. He's so peaceful. He looks just like David. He has his eyes and nose for sure, but I think he has Sarah's smile. Later in the evening, as the energy softened and smaller conversations formed, Mina found herself drawn back toward Liam, who stood near the edge of the room. You planned this, she said quietly. I had help, Liam replied, his smile soft but knowing. Mina held his gaze, the weight of the past few weeks settling into something quieter. You didn't have to do all of this, she said. I know, he answered. I wanted to. Mina exhaled slowly, and without overthinking it, she stepped closer and sat beside him, leaning into him as her body finally allowed itself to rest. Liam wrapped his arms around her gently, holding her in a way that felt steady and certain, as if he understood exactly what she needed without her having to explain it. Mina rested against him, her head against his shoulder, letting the exhaustion she had been carrying finally surface now that everything around her felt safe. For a few moments, the noise of the room faded into the background, and all that remained was the quiet, shared understanding between them. When she finally looked up, he was already looking at her. You okay? He asked softly. Mina smiled, a little tired but genuine. Yeah, I think I am now. The conversations blended together seamlessly, and the kids talked about their various classes, tests, and extracurricular activities such as clubs and sports. Inevitably, the conversations always got back to the baby and how much he looked like David.